I'm Steve Schreiter, and at the age of 35, I decided to build a sailboat. Not just any sailboat, an ocean-going sailboat in the middle of the country. Everybody thought I was crazy, and maybe I was, but it floats.
The initial steps to building his dream were the purchase of blueprints, pouring of a concrete pad upon which to build the structure, and delivery of sheets of steel. Steve cut and welded steel to build the strong back and ribs that would create the frame of the exterior, then welded on steel sheeting to create the hull and keel skins. The initial structure was built upside down, and approximately 2 years later, the boat was rotated upright.
Till we turned the boat over when I was building it, I really didn't understand how big it was. Once it was sitting on its keel, yeah, it's a big boat.
Steel decks, upper cabin areas, and a cockpit were added. He built fuel and gray water tanks within the hull, aluminum freshwater tanks, installed a black water tank. He rebuilt and installed an engine to power the boat. At 4 years into the build, an ex-employee damaged the boat by knocking it over and off its supports, caving in the boat on one side and creating 2 large gashes on the other. It lay there over 6 months before being uprighted.
When the boat got knocked over, that was really depressing. The lines on it were just straight as could be. Everything about it was beautiful. So now she's got a few wrinkles in her, a few scars. I've added a few more since then. I guess it just builds character into the boat.
After this, he was so frustrated by the damage that he closed up the boat for a while. Several years later, Steve's brother Doug passed unexpectedly, and a year later his daughter Jenna was born. As things settled, work on the boat resumed. He built the 60-foot steel mast out and created and ran all the standing rigging. The interior was sandblasted and coated, and interior framing began.
When I was doing the woodworking on the inside of the boat, I'm not a carpenter. The funny part is there's really only 2 square corners on the walls, and neither one of them straight. Like I said, I'm not a carpenter.
Building of the boat was put on hold again as Steve was busy at his business. During the last 3 years prior to the launch, the boat was no longer a side project and was Steve's full-time job. He prepped and insulated the interior walls and framed all of the rooms, bed frames, closet, subfloors, seating, kitchen and bath, engine controls cabinet, and other storage areas. Steve sandblasted and painted the large exterior of the boat and added sturdy railings along the deck. He made and installed custom windows along the upper cabin and added porthole windows and hatch openings. He connected all the wiring, ran piping for the tanks, and installed the prop shaft, and steering. He even built a refrigeration unit. Steve's wife Terry made custom mattresses, cushions, and curtains to fit the interior Steve had created. It started feeling more like a boat as finishing touches were added to the cabin and exterior. The windlass, chain, and anchor were installed. The boat was ready for launch.
To build a large boat, you don't have to be crazy, but it does help.
Tulin is a 53-foot long, 54,000-pound steel hull sailboat with a 7-foot draft. As a visual, the boat is the length of the standard semi-tractor trailers hauled on our nation's highways. With 22 years invested, the time had come to face the final challenges that would determine success or failure. The transport, launch, and mated voyage of an untested boat on its way down the Missouri and Mississippi rivers, and a 950-mile journey to reach Mobile Bay, where he raised the mast and outfitted his boat for sailing.
Just about the time you think you're done building your boat, you realize the boat's never done. You'll always be building more. There's always something to add. There's always something to change. There's always something you got wrong.
Steve now resides on his boat Tulin in Key West, Florida, works as a captain, and occasionally takes combat veterans out on his boat for week-long excursions. So what is it really like to live on a boat? This is my day in the life of living on a sailboat. So we just landed. That was my second flight, and I'm now in Key West, Florida. The next day we were taking the fishing boat out. We just take a bunch of people out on it and we help them fish, and it's just a nice day out on the water. There's a little jellyfish that was off the dock of the fishing boat. And that's Go Ship Warriors. So Go Ship Warriors is a program that my dad and Perry run, and they take veterans out for free just to get them out and just to get them kind of away from everything, and it's really nice what they do. Alright everyone, it is a beautiful Monday morning and my dad's off the boat doing some work for someone. So I'm going to take this chance to show you guys a little tour of the boat. So this is the inside of our boat. We got our main little sitting area up here. We also have these lights. All of our lights do this, but it has red for when it's at night, and then has like normal light for when it's day, because the red light helps your eyes like see better than the bright light. It kind of hurts your eyes at night. But yeah, and then this table actually goes down. We have some extra cushions, but we'll put a cushion on it and then just put like a sheet or something on it, and it makes like a 2-person bed. This is our like main storage area. Yeah. So then back here is our main cabin. Oh. So then we got like storage here. This is all new since I've been on here. We got our bed back here. I think this is like a full, I want to say full bed. And then we got some closet space back here. Not much, but we live on a boat. This is our second seating area. It does the same as the first, where this folds down and it makes another bed. This is our fridge. We have a thermometer telling us what it is inside, but oh, you just lift that up and everything is inside. So no freezer, but that's fun. This is our little kitchen area. So we got, you know, a little sink. We got, this is our like stovetop kind of. So this is like all of our food, and then all of this down here is like storage for dishes and utensils and all that stuff. And then we got, this is our bathroom. It's very small, but we got a sink, we got a toilet, we got a shower, and we actually use a little like sprayer like you would do with like with washing the dishes in the sink, because we don't want to use up all of our water when we take a shower, and we can't afford to have it all like going at once. So then this is on the red light just from last night, so it also goes there. And then you also got some natural light coming in. So yeah. Then this is my room, which is obviously already a mess from me being here like 3 days. So we got kind of a bed here. I got a nice window, which helps some air come in and light. I also have these two open, which helps some sort of air. So this is when we went out later that day, and we had some pretty big waves that we were experiencing. So this is me trying to make a sandwich, and you can really see how big the movements of the camera are when it's sitting on a tripod in the boat, because of how much the boat was rocking. And so when we finally anchored, this was how much our boat was rocking side to side, because we were now in a different angle with the waves. So we were going side to side and not up and down anymore. And that night we went to a memorial where we take a group out on the fishing boat for sunset, and we let them just do their thing. And this was just Duval Street, which the cruise ships park at the end And so all of the tourists from the cruise ships walk this street. So there's a lot of stores and everything's on Duval Street.
One of the things about boats, especially boats you build, everything's on your boat is broke. You just don't know it yet. It's a constant fight, but it is a labor of love.